Let me tell you a story about a respected doctor, a secret no one saw coming, and a child that changed everything. A courtroom was forced to answer a shocking question: can someone become a parent without ever agreeing to it? Please stay with me.
Some stories sound too unbelievable to be true. A successful doctor, a secret pregnancy, a child conceived in a way the father claimed was never supposed to happen, and then a courtroom battle that forced judges to answer a question nobody expected. Can someone steal another person's genetic material after intimacy? This is the disturbing and controversial true story behind one of America's strangest legal battles, the case of Phillips vs. Irons. And by the end of this story, you'll understand why people still debate it decades later. In 1999, Chicago physician Dr. Richard Phillips met another doctor named Dr. Sharon Irons. Both were educated, successful, respected. From the outside, they looked like the perfect match. Their relationship started casually: dinners, long conversations, late-night meetings after hospital shifts. But according to Phillips, there was one thing he made absolutely clear from the very beginning. He did not want children outside of marriage. That mattered deeply to him. And according to court records, Irons agreed. She allegedly told him she was divorced, independent, not looking to start a family. To Phillips, everything seemed straightforward. But years later, he would claim almost everything he believed about the relationship was built on lies. Because behind the scenes, secrets were already growing.
Their affair lasted only a short time, and according to Phillips, their intimacy never included vaginal intercourse. He believed pregnancy simply wasn't possible. To him, there was no risk, no future complications, no chance of becoming a father. Then one day, everything suddenly changed. Phillips discovered something shocking. Sharon Irons was allegedly still married. Not only that, she was reportedly still living with her husband. The relationship immediately collapsed. Phillips walked away believing the chapter was over forever, but he had no idea. The real story was only beginning. Months passed, then nearly 2 years later, Phillips received news that would completely change his life. A child had been born, and according to Sharon Irons, he was the father. At first it sounded impossible. Phillips reportedly couldn't understand how it could even happen. But the DNA results were undeniable. The child was biologically his. Suddenly, the successful doctor who thought fatherhood was impossible was ordered into court. And eventually, a judge ordered him to pay child support, around $800 every month. But Phillips wasn't just shocked, he was furious. Because according to him, he never consented to becoming a parent.
Then came the allegation that stunned everyone. Phillips claimed that Irons secretly preserved his semen after one of their intimate encounters, and used it to artificially inseminate herself without his knowledge. It sounded like something out of a movie. But suddenly, lawyers and judges were forced to debate questions few courts had ever faced before. What counts as consent? Does intimacy automatically mean consent to parenthood? And once genetic material leaves someone's body, who legally owns it? Phillips felt trapped. According to court filings, he described the situation as a nightmare he couldn't escape. He sued Irons for fraud, emotional distress, and what he described as theft of his genetic material. The media quickly became obsessed with the case. Some people sympathized with Phillips. Others argued the child's well-being mattered most. And soon, the courtroom became a battlefield over ethics, biology, and responsibility. Then came the ruling that shocked legal experts across the country. The court dismissed the theft claims. The judges ruled that once sperm was voluntarily delivered during intimacy, it legally became a gift, meaning it could not be stolen afterward. But the court also made another important decision. The judges allowed Phillips to continue pursuing claims for emotional distress, because if his allegations were true, they believed a reasonable person would never expect their genetic material to be used in that way. The ruling became historic, not because it solved every ethical question, but because it exposed how unprepared the legal system was for situations involving reproductive consent and modern biology. Lost in all the headlines was a child, a little girl who never asked to become the center of a legal storm. And that's what made the case so emotionally complicated. Because regardless of how the pregnancy happened, a child now existed, and courts consistently prioritized the child's support and well-being above conflicts between parents. That reality became one of the most controversial parts of the case. Some people believed Phillips had been deeply wronged. Others argued that biology still carried responsibility. And even today, debates continue. The story of Phillips versus Irons remains one of the strangest and most debated reproductive cases in modern legal history. Not because it gave easy answers, but because it forced society to ask uncomfortable questions. Questions about trust, consent, responsibility, and the blurry line between biology and choice. One brief relationship, one shocking allegation, and one courtroom decision that people still discuss decades later. Because sometimes, the most unbelievable stories are the ones that actually happened. What do you think about this case? Should consent to intimacy automatically mean consent to parenthood? Or should the law treat reproductive deception differently?
Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. I love hearing from you. If you enjoyed this story, please like and subscribe, and tap the bell so you don't miss future videos. If you're watching Court on Instagram or TikTok, click the link in my bio to subscribe on YouTube. Share this with your friends and family. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Join our True Crime Vault community, and thanks for supporting Fig 8 Kimmy. Stay tuned for more stories. Let's get into it.